Streetbeefs family. Y'all see it? Listen, y'all tell me Lamar Jackson ain't a superstar. This dude is truly Houdini in cleats. I would argue he's the greatest athlete the NFL's ever seen. Okay? Now look, I've been a Ravens fan forever, and Ray Lewis was the reason I started watching the Ravens. I watched Joe Flacco get drafted, watched him win a Super Bowl, then watched him get sent out of town. The Lamar Jackson, man, is another level of exciting. Anyways, that's not why I'm here, though. If you're a Redskins fan or Commanders fan, we'll see y'all Sunday. Hey, listen. Random video, right? Y'all know I did an interview with Demetrius Johnson some time back. And, randomly checking the comments, keeping an eye on the comments, I seen a goofy make a comment that is rare, but I've ran into it just a few times, okay? Demetrius Johnson asked me about the early days of Streetbeefs and some beefs we solved, so on and so forth. And I told him about a beef we had between a dude named Big Chris and Conan, who wanted to solve a dispute. They had been fighting in the street, came to my house. See, people, long story short, I told the story, and dude in the comments comes on, "Oh, that's bullshit. You bullshit," so on and so forth. So, let's break down some details real quick. My house, where I lived in that neighborhood, I lived in a little shitty part of the town, and everybody in the neighborhood knew me. Everybody in the town knew me, okay? I was known for people fighting, for boxing, etc. For years before I started Streetbeefs. I would have boxing gloves in my house, and people would just be boxing up in my yard and shit. Not like actual fights, but just like sparring, boxing, etc. So people always kind of knew me as the boxing fighting guy, all right? Plus, at that time, I got into a lot of street fights, okay? Plus, at that time, I was somebody who had came home from prison and was turning my life around, and people knew me as a solid dude, all right? I'm throwing all this out there for anybody that wants to question what I have to say. So, these dudes get in a fight up the street, in the middle of the street. Fist fight. All right, I don't know how they ran into each other. I don't know how the fight came about. I don't know. But I know basically one dude was following the other after the fight, like, "Yo, what's up? Let's fight again." They're walking up the street. And I just so happened to be out in the front on my heavy bag. Dude yelled, "Yo, Face, let me fight this dude in your yard, yo." Now, that was a big point of contention for the doofus in the comment. Why would they just want to fight in your yard? Well, I'll tell you why. My yard was right beside this boarding house. The boarding house was basically just all old drunks. Nobody cared. My neighbors did not care. And my yard was secluded. The trees covered it, so you couldn't see back there, okay? So they knew if they came and fought in my yard, nobody was going to see it and they weren't going to get in trouble. And I told them, look, if you do, you can't be killing each other afterwards, period. Okay? But it's just funny. I remember dude basically, he said, "Well, what is this, the fucking 80s? Are we having breakdancing battles?" Well, no, dickhead. Some people actually still could solve a dispute without pulling out AR-15s and killing each other. It's possible. Okay? Not everybody thinks you have to shoot to solve a dispute. Some people actually like to fight to solve a dispute. Okay? But it just goes to show the mindset. Now, this cat that commented, I did a little snooping. He's from D.C. D.C.'s right up from us, and D.C.'s a freaking third world country, okay? So it didn't surprise me that his mindset was people can't fight to solve a dispute because all they're doing up there is shooting, which to me is goofy, cowardly, and just a total waste, all right? But I don't fault him because that's where he lives and that's what he sees. But I'm going to tell you, even in the big cities that I have lived in, I've still seen people get in fist fights. Still seen it. I've seen fist fights in the middle of hoods where people usually gunfight. It happens, okay? And furthermore, some people don't want to catch a body over a simple dispute. Believe it or not, some people have a brain, okay? I'm trying to remember what story this was, who told this story. It's a really cool story. It's on YouTube. And damn, I'm not going to remember who told it, but basically, he was talking about when he was a teen, he seen this pimp/drug dealer get in a fight with another dude. He said, dude walked up, and the pimp had a pistol in his waist. He took his pistol out, laid it on the car, put his hands up and fought. Dude loosened his tooth up. He said afterwards, the dude said, that motherfucker whooped my goddamn ass. That's all right, I'm gonna get him next time. Put his pistol back in his pants and kept it pushing. There's still real G's like that out here, okay? There's still people out here that will solve a dispute with fists. But, you know, people that are cowards that only see a gun as an option, they can't see that, you know. But since then, we've solved disputes in the New York Times, the Washington Post, but you can't expect a goofy who's watching a video to actually do his research. Had he did his research, he would have found our New York Times documentary called Guns to Gloves, and he would have seen us solve disputes right there. Or he'd have read our Washington Post documentary where we solved a beef that had went on for years in the yard. And we've done a lot more. You know, it's still possible. Ladies and gentlemen, it's still possible to solve a dispute with nobody dying. It's possible. And if you out there and you got a dispute, think about this. This is my slogan. A black eye beats a bullet 10 days out of 10. A black eye beats a bullet, okay? And a black eye beats the consequences of what comes with a bullet. Some people aren't smart enough to think that far ahead, though. Guys get mad. I don't even call it mad. The dudes out here that are pulling guns and running and shooting people are overly emotional children. I'm serious. You ever seen the videos of dudes pulling out guns and killing people? It's usually just so... One video that really, really blows my mind. This happened in Chicago, I want to say around 2019, 2018. It was at the Puerto Rican Day Parade up there. And there was a young Puerto Rican couple. They were in a car, and I guess they had bumped another car. So the guy from the other car gets out, and they're arguing, and the guy behind him is like, what? Pulls a gun, shoots the guy, and then shoots his wife right on top of it. Right on camera. Now this dork commits double murder in broad daylight. Well, it wasn't daylight, but still, in front of a whole crowd. And then thinks he was going to go hide in a different neighborhood and get away with it. So, of course, he got caught and hemmed up and jammed up, and it was what it was. He didn't think 3 seconds ahead, and that's how people that pull guns are. They don't think. They just pull them out, then afterwards they're in court. Please, don't give me life. Well, you should have thought about that. I'm telling y'all, I feel no sympathy for people that pull weapons and kill people. No sympathy. Because for real, think ahead. Think ahead. Use your brain just a little bit, you know. But it is what it is. I just wanted to tap in and tell y'all that little origin story. If you don't know about us, watch our New York Times piece. Love y'all, man. Peace.